your men can have love for the truckie. Beautiful minds, but we love getting ugly. Risk takers with a clover, man, we love getting lucky. You run, we chase fire, I love when it ducks me. Tones go off, house watch, read the address out. 1075, get up off the magic couch. 500 gallons prepared for the baddest drought. Who else you want on the way when disaster's out? Can't even get a little bit rattled when you enter with exit apparel. Mayday, member down, they'll drag you. You won't get this from every Tom, Dick, and Harold, but here's a view from the top floor with Mickey Farrell.
What is up, guys? This is Mickey Farrell coming to you from the TFT headquarters based here in New York City, bringing you a view from the top floor where we're discussing current topics, tactics, and dilemmas plaguing the American fire service. With a no-fluff, all-business attitude, we're going to push the limits on hot-button issues as well as shed some light on trending issues that many choose to shy away from. So what's going on, guys? This is episode number 2. Episode number 1 was a quick intro, but during that intro, I talked about kind of the guideline or the path we're going to use for this podcast. And that was message to the Probie. That was one of the outlets we're going to explore. So that said, episode number 2, we're going to jump right into it. The 10 things I wish I could tell myself as a Probie. Number 1, take this job seriously. You're one run, one call, one fire for wishing you did. People die on this job. Firefighters die on this job. We need to take this job seriously. We can have fun in the firehouse, play the games, cook the meals, but when that alarm goes off, there's a level of expertise and a level of professionalism that needs to be dialed in. Number 2, find a mentor. Now this, very, very important, but something we have to understand that you can find a mentor and very quickly you can become the mentee, meaning that when you come onto this job, you're in the fire academy and you have your instructors you looked up to. Now you get to the field, you enter the firehouse. You have the senior firefighters that you're looking up to, but very quickly behind that, the next Probie comes in the door and you're his mentor. You have to show him the right thing to do. You are now the senior Probie. There's something behind that, and it's very serious. It needs to be taken seriously. It just happens quickly, and understand that. And when that happens, move forward with it, and then continuously find that mentor throughout your career. Number 3, listen more than you talk. But when you do speak, speak from the heart. Every firefighter has a say, has a word. Now, understanding when to use that word, that's the key. So maybe just not at the kitchen table your first few years, or in the back of the rig when guys are jabber-jawing in the back and you add your 2 cents in. That's the time to remain silent. However, you go to a fire, you see something, you say something. The retina is, believe it or not, part of the brain. That said, that people see things in different lights. So you could have a senior fire officer or a senior firefighter look at a building a certain way, look at an incident a certain way, and you see that with just 2, 3, 4 years on the job, you could see it differently. So if you see something, say something. Number 4, good people gravitate to great places. It's as easy as that. Now, not everybody gets to go to that dream firehouse that they wanted when they were in the academy, or if you're in the volunteer side of things, you go to your county academy and you come back to your firehouse and maybe your buddy's firehouse in the next town over, a little more squared away. That said, good guys always gravitate to great places. Make that firehouse you're in a great place in the moment. And if you do that and you treat it like it's the best firehouse in the world, you will eventually gravitate to where you need to be and where you should be. And that goes both ways. If you come out of the academy and you're doing the wrong thing and you're in a good place, you will end up in a bad place. It's your decision to make it right. Number 5, fall in love with the process. Now, this is, I feel, an epidemic within the fire service. We're so quick to look at the next best thing. And I think mainly because it's just, I'm not going to say fire duty's down, but I think morale is down overall. So we're always looking for the next great thing. So we come into the fire academy, right? And of course, yeah, we can't wait to get to the field. That's part of the national progression. But when we get to the field, embrace every moment, fall in love with every moment. It's the best job in the world for a reason. You have to learn to love every moment. So if you go to the engine, spend your time in the engine. Make as many mistakes as you can in that engine. Then maybe across the floor. Go to the truck company if that's where your heart desires. It's not for everybody. That said,
Make as many mistakes as you can in that truck company. Pick as many brains as senior firefighters in that truck company.
Rescue, squad, special operations, wherever it is that you work, that's the natural next progression for some firefighters, but not all. You could stay in that truck company your whole career and have a great, tremendous career, be a tremendous firefighter. But someone to promote, that's okay. Study young, but don't rush the process. We have to learn to fall in love with every moment of this job because it goes so quickly. Before you know it, you have 10 years, then you're on the backside. And then before you know it, you got 20 years, and you think to yourself, where did my job go? Where did this time go?
They always say it goes quickly, especially when you love what you're doing. But I'll be honest with you.
It went a lot quicker than I expected. And I kind of wish I learned to fall in love with that process more intimately. Spend some more time in certain companies with certain guys and not rush the process. Number 6, learn from your mistakes. Every single fire I go to, I make a mistake. Every single fire you go to, you make a mistake. But that's okay. That's how we get better.
The key is harnessing those mistakes, bringing them back to our hot washes.
The back step. When we're talking about the fires, it could be 3 a.m, it could be 8 a.m, whatever it is. We get done with the fire, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about our mistakes. So I challenge you to start that conversation by starting with your mistakes. Now, what we did right, because at fires, things go right, but more often than not, they go wrong as well. So starting that conversation with what we did wrong, collectively now, we can move forward as a company, as a department. Number 7, be present. Now, training, fires, the rig, the gym.
Studying. All things we need to be present with. But we have to understand.
Being present at the kitchen table. The back step. Whenever those senior firefighters are telling the same stories over and over and over, and all the junior guys are looking at each other, kind of rolling their eyes, thinking, he's telling it again, he's telling it again. Now the fire's out 4 windows instead of 2 windows. The story gets better and better every time. Well, there's a validation to that.
And we have to understand if we don't harness the stories that these senior firefighters are telling us,
and passing them on to the next generation, we're going to lose them when these senior firefighters leave. It's happening. I see it happening. We're buried in our phones. The senior guys are fed up with telling the same story because now nobody's paying attention. Put the phone down. Let the guy tell the same story for the 500th time. Pass those stories on. That's what makes the kitchen table so special. That's what makes this job so incredibly special. Where I spent most of my career as a firefighter, we didn't have a TV in the kitchen. We would sit and talk. We had a 45-minute rule. We got done eating. Whoever that last person was eating, we would sit down for 45 minutes and just talk. Now, 45 minutes quite often would go to 2 hours, 3 hours sometimes. Even if we had runs, we'd come back and sit down and continue the same stories over and over. But it's the same stories that the senior guys were telling 10, 15 years prior. We're just retelling the same story and laughing. Every time we tell it, it gets funnier and funnier. But this all comes from being present in the moment.
Number 8, invest in yourself. Now again, training,
physical fitness, all things we're talking about in the Fire Academy. However, one thing we're not talking about is how mindful this job truly is. Mindset to skill set. That's where true success is on the fire ground, the fire floor, and floors above the fire. We have to dial in on how mentally prepared we have to be. That's what's going to make you a great firefighter. There are plenty of good firefighters out there that are very good in their trades and their tactics, but understanding where we fit in mentally through instinctual notion will make you a great firefighter. And we'll talk a lot more about that in the episodes to come. But that's something that we truly, truly have to dial in on, is investing in ourselves mentally. Number 9, laugh at yourself. Now, we cannot fall suit to kitchen quicksand. It happens to the best of us, right? We have to remember, if the guys aren't breaking your balls, they simply
do not like you. That's the bottom line.
Don't fall suit to that kitchen quicksand, like I said. You walk in the kitchen, be able to laugh at yourself. That's the best part of this job, is that kitchen table. We always talk about it, right? It's about the kitchen, the kitchen, the kitchen. We have to be able to laugh at ourselves to enjoy that kitchen. And number 10, this is probably, I feel, the absolute most important thing in the fire service. Number 10 is to always be loyal. I promise you, from the bottom of my heart, if you take care of this job, and when I say this job, the family, not a paycheck, paid volunteer. It doesn't matter. It's the fire service family. If you take care of it, nourish it, cherish it, respect it, I promise you, this job will take care of you and your family tenfold for generations and generations to come. But this is the best part. By doing the right thing, you never have to say thank you, because by simply doing the right thing is the only thanks the fire service needs. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. The 10 things I wish I could tell myself was a Probie. We'll dive into each one of these as the episodes progress, but just a quick recap, and I feel that are probably the most 10 traits that we have to dial in for success in our career. All right, guys, I'm Mickey Farrell. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll talk to you soon.